One of the most powerful lessons I've learned in senior care is that every person's story is shaped by their culture, their traditions, and the generation they come from. I'm Angie from New Wave Home Care, and in this video, I want to share why cultural sensitivity isn't just a value, it's an essential part of truly compassionate care. We serve families from all walks of life, different cultures, languages, and faiths. Each person we care for brings their own way of living, communicating, and expressing love. Our job is to honor that. First, cultural sensitivity starts with listening. Before we ever provide care, we take time to understand each client's background, preferences, and traditions. That could mean knowing how someone prefers to be addressed, understanding certain foods or holidays, or respecting religious practices and routines. Next, we train our caregivers to practice empathy and curiosity. Cultural awareness isn't a checklist, it's a mindset. If a caregiver doesn't understand a custom, we encourage respectful questions, learning, and adapting. Now, an important and often delicate reality in dementia care. For people living with Alzheimer's or dementia, the mind can sometimes travel back in time to the 1930s, 40s, or 50s. When that happens, a person may see or respond to the world through the lens of those earlier decades. Old memories, language, or even social attitudes from that era can resurface. These reactions are not intentional. They're the brain's way of trying to make sense of a world that no longer feels familiar. Our role is to meet that person with compassion and not judgment. When a situation like this arises, for example, if a client becomes uncomfortable with someone who looks or sounds different from what they remember, our focus is on safety, calm, and dignity for everyone involved. We redirect gently, reassure the client, and provide support for the caregiver. Our supervisors stay closely involved, and when it helps reduce stress, we may adjust caregiver matching, such as language, communicating style, or cultural familiarity. What we never do is excuse prejudice. Instead, we approach it through our understanding, training, and empathy. This balance, protecting both the client's emotional security and the caregiver's dignity, is at the heart of person-centered care. Thoughtful matching matters. Whenever possible, we pair caregivers who can communicate in a client's preferred language or who share cultural touch points that feel familiar. When that isn't possible, we coach around shared interests, favorite music, foods, or traditions to build comfort and trust naturally. We also encourage cross-cultural understanding. Some of the most meaningful connections we've seen from differences when a caregiver and a client learn from one another, sharing stories that bridge generations. Our goal is simple: to provide care that feels familiar, respectful, and deeply human. Because when we honor someone's culture and understand the time and world they came from, we're not just meeting their needs. We're also preserving their identity, their dignity, and their story. If you'd like to learn more about how we build culturally sensitive, person-centered care plans, reach out to our team at New Wave Home Care or on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Because connecting is caring, and connection starts with respect.